Sam Benbow on the flute. Give her a hand back there.
Woo!
Yeah, absolutely. And that brings me up to our next, I was going to do this before part two, audience participation. A huge part of our activity is audience participation. And when I moved to Indiana, I understood what that meant. I've come from Ohio. I come from Big Ten, Ohio State, high-stepping marching bands that play football games only. And when I came out to Indiana and I heard, shh, I can't hear the band, I was like, what are you talking about? I go, yeah, we're doing something musical out here. And the crowds watch us intently, maybe not in our own football games, but at the Saturday performances, you will see an entire audience and they will be divided, their attention on that band. And when they see something that they like, they go nuts. And if you see something you like in this next set, if you could let them know that you're enjoying it by putting your hands together, making some noise. When Sam finishes her solo, that makes her feel so great that she's, number one, you can hear her, which is great. And any sort of audience participation, it is a huge part of our activity. It pumps up our kids on the field, and it makes them perform that much better. So chunk two is where the band kind of reveals themselves, come out to Whitney, who will be on the field going, what is going on around me? Here's chunk two. Fisher and I were talking, and Mrs. Blank were talking. That whole opening chunk right there is nothing but impact. It's in your face. It's asking you, yes, listen to us. We're here. We're grabbing the attention of the audience. And again, the more you give them, that's great. Third chunk, we're just going to develop this. We have our woodwind feature here in the third chunk. You're going to see them play some extremely difficult music. We're going to add some visuals to even make it more difficult for them as it goes on.
Yay!
And then we have some percussion breaks, but it kind of gets broken up between the third and the fourth chunk. So here is chunk number 3.
Woo.
So we're going to close out the opener with our last chunk. There's actually something that's not in the wind book, it's in the percussion book, and it's called mosh pit. And I was like, oh, that's just kind of funny. Turns out a lot of the kids don't know what a mosh pit is, so I had to explain that to them, because I am a teacher after all. I've got to explain things to them. So the mosh pit, you'll actually see the entire band form one large S, and they do a technique called a follow the leader. Follow the leader drill looks really easy, looks really fun, but there's actually a lot of feet changes that you have to do to make it curve around the right way and keep the form. So you'll see the entire band form this one large snake. The band plays what's known as the mosh pit section. This will then close out the opener, and we'll start with our second tune. So when you get home tonight, you can ask your kids this question. Say, hey, son or daughter, have you played the chunks for Mr. Graham? And if they look at you like they're insane, you might want to say, hey, you should probably play the chunks. We are actually not testing, we're just checking in on all the kids this year to see how they play each of those chunks. Me and Mrs. Lank and myself do it during 5th period. We pull kids out of the dance band. Mr. Fisher does it during 8th grade band. I'm not quite sure how intermediate band's going to be attacked, but we're going to attack them as well. Some kids have been coming in before and after rehearsals. They come in and they stand in the office and they play the music for us from memory. And they finally have that realization of this is really hard to do when the whole band isn't here. And we tell them, yes. Soren Hackbush, 5 minutes before we came out today, went and played his chunk. So ice cream for him tonight, maybe. Well, apparently, but. Yeah, so and some of them come in and they test and they don't quite have it. We are being, I don't know, I didn't have anyone cry, but I was pretty close. Did I? Sorry. We are being super, super nitpicky. There are a lot of bands out there in the state of Indiana that are pretty good, and we don't want to be a pretty good band. We want to be the best band we possibly can.
Yeah. Woo!
Everything on that paper is being played. So we're looking forward to really pushing them hard this year. All right, so Bryce Wesley is right here. Bryce Wesley is our trombone soloist. Our second movement. Yeah, good. Second movement is going to all be about water. Our water feature in the back is going to have garden members coming through it. You're going to see blue slowly kind of released as a color, and we're going to kind of explore what it's like to have the water fill into this oasis a little bit. All right, part 2, chunk 1. Chunk 2, we're going to hear more trombone solo. How many of you have seen the palm fronds in the back on the field? If you haven't, check those out. It's a kind of a cool thing we're going to do this year. With some of the guard members, are they out there? Can they wave them around real quick?
They wave you around.
Keep waving. I don't feel it up here. So we're doing some non-traditional things. It's always fun to work with this band. Again, this is year number 3. And I just love the look on people's faces when, like last year, we're walking through the warm-up area with a huge takeout container, and everyone just kind of does a double take, and we're hoping this year will be the same thing. They'll be like, what in the heck is the Count doing this year? It's like, yes, that's what I want. Get the stands and find out what we're doing. Bryce is going to continue his trombone solo. We'll explore some more water-type things. Hey, there's more pig to be eaten, by the way. I just received word that we still have pig left. So if you would like to take some pig home, please stop by the pig table on the way home. Get it to go. Eat it tomorrow. Put it in an omelet. I hear it's really good. A little cheese, a little barbecue sauce. I'm going to keep talking. All right, so I'm going to keep talking about that. Also, Mr. Rod Tobar. He's right up here. Give him a big hand. Rod Tobar, he's got the pig for us. He's taking the pig. He cooked the pig, seasoned the pig. He's one of our Mrs. Lank's dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Go Packers.
Go Packers.
They're going to the Thanksgiving game. I get to hear about it every day.
I'm so
It's wonderful.
excited.
I think I know more about Mrs. Link than anyone else here. Sorry, Wayne.
I know that for you.
All right, so we're going to close out our ballad. Big impact moment here when you see the guard with what are known as swing flags. Swing flags are when they have two in each hand. It allows them to cover twice the amount of space as one. The band's going to build the velocity. You're going to see them hit this one form, and it'll look perfect. You know it will. And they're going to have this great impactful moment, and we're really hoping to make the crowds kind of go nuts here at this moment. We're going to keep working it all year. So the final chunk of our ballad.
Especially when you stop automatically.
So part 3, it's not here yet, but we're going to be working on it. Part 3 is where we actually kind of turn this Oasis into a marketplace. There's an extended percussion feature halfway through that the guard's going to be interacting with the battery of the drum type things. And it's not just the battery break, the front ensemble actually has things they have to play. There's a massively difficult woodwind feature that I know the front ensemble started on, I think, day 3 or day 2 of band.